started for the eyes. So first thing that we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and do our brows. Now to do brows today, I am going to be going in with the Benefit Precisely My Brow in shade number 4, which you guys know that I've used this one before. It's my go-to brow product. So I'm just going to go ahead and fill in my brows really quick, and I will be right back. Now that I have that brow filled in, I'm going to go in with my Benefit Gimme Brow Plus, and we're just going to go ahead and provide a little extra tint primarily at the front and work its way back. Alright guys, so I went ahead and filled in my other brow as well as carved them out. So now I'm going to prime my eyelid using the Anastasia Beverly Hills Eye Primer. And I'm going to go ahead, put a little bit on my finger, tap it on the eyelid, and then blend it out with a little brush. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and take some washi tape and we're going to tape off the corners because we do want to have a nice sharp line in this look. So now how I want to go ahead and do this look is I want to primarily use purple, pink, and blue. So I'm going to be using 2 different palettes for that. The first one I'm going to be using is the Morphe X James Charles palette. And then the second one I'm using is the Laura Lee Los Angeles Party Animal palette. So first I think I'm going to go in with the James Charles palette because I want to get my initial shades started. And I'm going to go in with the darkest shade first and then kind of blend upwards to lighten it out. So the first one I want to go in with is going to be Skip right here. And then I'm going to go into Escape. And then we're going into Playground right there. So I'm going to go in with some really tight brushes. So the first one I'm going in with is this brush from Moda Pro. It's the BMX 420 detail brush. Just a little brush like this. And like I said, we're going to go into the shade Skip. We're going to coat it pretty nicely on the tip of the brush. And we're going to stamp it first so that we get the most pigment laid down. And then we're going to worry about blending it later. Now I'm going to use 3 separate brushes because I want to keep my pink, purple, and blue all separate. So now I'm going to go in with the Morphe M506, which looks just like this. And we're going to go into the shade Playground. And we're going to do the same thing, just pack it on the brush, and we're going to tap it. I think instead of going into the shade Escape, I want to go into Single right here. And like I said, I'm going in with a 3rd brush because I don't want the pigment from any of the brushes mixing together. So I'm going to go in with a Morphe M507 brush like this. And we're just going to go into Single. And again, we're going to coat the brush right on the tip of it. And now we're going to start packing this on the outer corner. Now, only because I do want a little bit of depth to this outer corner, I am going to go in with the same brush and go into the shade Escape, which was that first initial like grape colored purple. We're just going to tap it right over Single. So now we've got the initial 3 colors laid down. So now we're going to go in with the blue color. So we're going to go in with Playground. We're going to put just a little bit of pigment on it, and we're going to go back and forth and mix Playground and Skip. And we're going to add just a little bit more of the pigment on. So we're just going to tap it over. We're going to bring it a little bit into the purple shade as well. So that way we can get it to start blending there. Now we're going to go back in with the first brush and go back into the shade Skip. And we're going to add a little bit more pigment here as well. So right now we've got it like this. And then we're going to take the purple again, but we're going into Escape Only and tapping it right here on the outer corner again. Now we're going to go into the lighter shades. So we're going to use Pinkity Drinkity, Single, and we're going to mix Playground and Brother for the blue shade. So while we're already on the purple, we're just going to mix Escape and Single. And we're going to start in very tiny circular motions, blend that up. Now we're mixing Playground and Brother for the blue. And now we're going in with Pinkity Drinkity and Skip. Now with the pink shade, we're going to want to start blending it in. So you can see we're going to start taking it up like this and kind of bringing it out this way. Okay, so while we're right at this stage and it looks like a hot mess, we're going to go into the Laura Lee Los Angeles Party Animal palette. And I really want to go into the shade Karaoke right here. And I want to darken the blue right at the bottom. So I'm just going to go in with the same brush that I was using. I'm going to tap into this a little bit. Tap off the excess. And we're just going to start blending it in. Okay, so now that I have all three of the colors blended all the way up, what I'm going to do is go into the shade Flashback, which is this white shade right here. And I'm going to coat it on a brush like this. This is going to be a Moda Pro BMX 430 crease brush. And I'm just going to get that white shade all over the brush. And I'm going to blend directly above the top over here so that it blends more seamlessly versus being a chunky line. We're going to go into the ColourPop No Filter Concealer in shade Fair 00, and we're going to go ahead and cut the crease. So I just put some of it on the back of my hand. Now I'm going to go in with this brush right here, and we're going to go ahead and cut out the crease. So now I have the crease completely cut. So now what I want to do is, I actually want to, hopefully I don't regret this, but I want to go into the shade Huntington Beach by Jeffree Star Cosmetics. And I'm going to go in with a detail brush like this one. And I want to kind of do liner with it. These are eye safe, so you can do it with no problem. So I'm just going to kind of go straight off of the doe foot itself. That way I don't put it on the back of my hand, because since it is a liquid liner, it does dry pretty quickly. So I'm just going to work with small bits at a time. And now we're going to start from the inner corner and do the line. I'm going to hold it very close to the top of it as well. So it looks pretty good so far. Now I'm just going to keep going in until I'm done with the line. Now because I am going over a white concealer with it, it is going to lighten up a little bit. So I just want to keep going back over the shade, or go back over the liner. Okay, so now that we have the liner, we are gonna go ahead and do the shadow for the lid itself. Okay, so now what I want to do is I'm going to take Ring Light and Face, which are these two shades, and I'm going to first tap them on with my finger and tap it all over the lid and just kind of leave this back portion alone. And then I'm going to go in with a wet brush just so it has a little bit more of a glow to it. Go in with a wet packing brush, so I'm going to go in with this brush right here, and I'm going to go into the two shades, and then I'm going to use my setting mist from LA Rose Beauty. This is a indie brand who is absolutely amazing. Sorry I'm so close, guys, but they're absolutely amazing, and this actually smells like sweet orange and it's so good. So I'm going to go in with this, and then I'm going to spray the brush with the product already on it. And then I'm going to take just a little bit more of the product and get it on the top of the brush. And now we're going to start packing it on. So I have that shade all over my eye. Now I'm going to go in with some liner, which is also from LA Rose Beauty. Okay, so this is from LA Rose Beauty, and this is a liquid liner. I think the packaging for it is absolutely gorgeous. So now we're going to go ahead and wing it out. So now what I also like doing whenever I do a wing liner, especially if I've used a shimmer shade underneath it, is I go in with a little tight brush, angled brush like this one, and I'm going to go into a black eyeshadow. Any black eyeshadow works, and I'm just going to kind of coat the brush on all sides and then kind of set it, especially because I did use a shimmer underneath and I don't want any of that shimmer poking through. So we're going to go ahead and move on to the face. So first thing that we're going to do is we are going to prime. So I want to first go in with the Dr. Brandt Pore Refiner Primer. And we're going to go ahead and press this into the cheeks and any areas that have a lot of pores. So this is what it looks like. You only need a small amount. This is probably like hands down my favorite primer lately. I feel like it makes my skin look so good. So we're just gonna take that and start doing like a press and roll. It also gives it like a very silicone-y feel, which I like. And then we're just gonna kind of take the leftover that's on our fingers and start to press and pull into the forehead. So my skin definitely looks a lot more blurred and it doesn't look as porous. So I really, really like that. Now we're gonna go in with the Touch in Sol Glassy Skin Balm, and we're just gonna use this to moisturize the face so that it doesn't dry out. So I don't like sticking my nail into it, so I'm just gonna take the lid and peel a little bit out and then kind of put it on the face that way. And now I can just go in and massage it out. Next thing that we're going to do is move on to our foundation. Before going in and actually doing my foundation, so I want to take the e.l.f. 16 Hour Camo Concealer and cover any areas that may need a little extra coverage. So I'm going to put some right under my eyes. And now you can, obviously you can conceal after doing your foundation. I usually do, but right now there's some things that because I'm using a much lighter concealer, there's some things that I want to go ahead and cover before doing it on top of foundation. This, I'm just going to go in with my Morphe M444 brush and start to blend it out. This concealer definitely does do a significant amount of brightening, and such a little bit goes such a long way as well. I actually probably put way too much right now, but it's okay. So now the entire lower half of my face looks 4 shades lighter than my skin tone. So now we're gonna go in with foundation. Now for my foundation today, I'm going to be using my Catrice HD Liquid Coverage Foundation in the shade 10 Light Beige. And this has a little dropper on it. I do not use the dropper straight on my face anymore because I messed up my makeup a lot that way. I also messed up my work shirts. So I'm gonna go with a beauty sponge and I'm just gonna start to blend it in. This foundation has a second skin effect as well, and it dries down pretty matte. I don't even really have to set it too much. Now I'm going to go in with my Catrice Liquid Camouflage Concealer in shade 10, which this concealer actually matches the foundation really, really well. It's just like a tad bit lighter, but I think 10 is actually like the lightest shade that they have for the concealer, which is kind of weird because like you'd think that they would have one a little lighter considering that 10 is the lightest shade for this foundation, as far as I'm aware anyways. I mean, like, I wear shade 10, but go ahead and conceal. And now we're just going to go back in with the sponge and blend it out. Now typically I like going in with a my Morphe M444 and then using a sponge to blend it out and soften it, but I'm just going to go in completely with the sponge right now. Now the next thing I want to do before moving on to anything else is I want to do a little bit of liquid highlight, especially because I just got this new highlighter. So, well, actually I got this one a couple of months ago, but I got another one like this a couple months ago. So I'm just going to take that same LA Rose Beauty setting spray, and I'm going to get my sponge nice and wet. And now for the highlight, I want to go into Jeffree Star Cosmetics Liquid Frost in the shade Crown Jewel, which looks just like this. And I'm going to take a very small amount of it. It's got like the little dropper. I'm going to take some and I'm going to put it right on the back of my hand. I'm going to kind of use my finger to swirl it out just a little bit. And then hopefully I didn't take too much. But now I'm just going to go right over the cheekbones with my fingertip. And we're going to work pretty fast because it dries pretty quickly and blend it in. I think this is a really pretty highlight as well. Now I'm just gonna kind of take a little bit of extra, like I pulled some more over to the side so it's not too much, and then just kind of go back over it again because I do want to be really glowy versus more matte today, which anybody who knows me knows that I am not a glowy person. I really like matte looks, but for a mermaid look, you think under the sea, wet, glowy. And I had a whole plan of, I had used some red hairspray on my extensions and I was going to put some in my hair, and yeah, that didn't really work. So my extensions are currently sitting in the tub draining. Well, not draining, but like drying. And then put a little bit right on the tip of the nose and then the lip. Okay. So now we've got a pretty good little glow going on. It's not anything too heavy right now, but it's just a little bit going. So now I'm just going to take the sponge and kind of go over it again, just to make sure there's no harsh lines. And I'm just going to kind of bring it down the face a little bit. Now, like I said, this foundation gets pretty matte. It's not matte right this second, but it does get pretty matte. So what I want to go ahead and do is I want to very lightly set this foundation. So I'm still going in with my Wet n Wild. Actually, no, I'm not. I'm going to go into the Park Avenue Princess palette, and I'm going to go into the shade Enhance right here. And I'm going to use that to set the under eyes. And to do that, I'm going to go in with this brush, which this one is from Crown, which I also have a discount code with them, which is going to be Kirsten, I believe. I'll put my code over here on the screen so you guys can see it. This is going to be the C437 Pro Domed Blender. And like I said, I'm just going to go into the shade Enhance, get it on the brush really nicely, and set the under eye. And I want to go in with a lighter shade because I do want it to brighten. And I'm just going to take a little bit of it onto the nose. So I'm leaving everything else pretty tacky for a minute because now we're going to go ahead and do scales. Now, here's the part where I'm about to look really funny for a minute. You're going to take, to get really good scales, you're going to take fishnet. So these are from like stockings. And you're going to put it over the areas that you want scales. Now, I want them kind of in different spots in my face. Like I'm going to do my cheekbones. I'm going to do up here. Pretty much anywhere that I would contour is where I'm going to put it. So I'm just going to put this over my face and we're going to get started. And I'm literally just going to speed up this whole part instead of talking about it. So the shades that I'm going to be using for this, from the Morphe X James Charles palette, I'm going to be going into this, in the Skip, Playground, Single. I'm going to go a little bit into B and Social Blade. And then from the Lorelei Los Angeles Party Animal palette, I'm going to go into Damage Control and It's a Party. Like I said, I'm going to speed up this entire part. Okay, so now that we've got some scales done in the contour areas, now we're going to go ahead and do the lower lash line. Now for the lower lash line, we're going to go into the JH36, which looks just like this. And we're going to go into Playground and Skip. We're going to mix those two shades and we're going to blend it right underneath. So now that we have the lower lash line blended out, we're going to go in with a bullet brush. I'm going to go in with this one. I'm going to spray it and get it wet, and we're going to do an inner corner highlight. So for my inner corner highlight, I'm just going back into the shade Ring Light, and I'm going to get it all over the tip of the brush and put it right here. So now we have our inner corner highlight. So now we are going to go ahead and do our mascara. So for mascara today, I am using the Milk Makeup Kush mascara, which looks like this. This is like a really like heavy duty packaging. The first thing I want to do is I want to go ahead and curl my lashes. And now we're going to apply the mascara. So now we have the top mascara done, and now we're going to move on to a little special. Okay, so now the pieces are starting to get really nice and tacky, and I have lash glue on my lashes themselves. So we're going to go ahead and place this down. just like that. Then we're going to take the tiny ones. And having nails does not make this easy to do at all, just so you guys know. And we're just going to place them under the eyes. And now we're going to put on our lashes because these are nice and tacky now too. So we're gonna go ahead and take them and put them on. So I honestly think that doing a really dark lip would actually like make this look, and hopefully it doesn't like do bad to it. So I'm gonna go ahead and line my lips, and to do that I'm using the Kylie Cosmetics lip liner in the shade Ginger, and I'm gonna go ahead and line them really quick. So I went ahead and did some simple liner. Now I'm actually going into a very dark lipstick, and I'm going into Jeffree Star Cosmetics liquid lip in the shade Triggered. So the final thing that we are adding to this look is what is a mermaid queen without her crown. So we are going to Alright guys, so this is going to be the finished mermaid queen look. I am, honest to God, so obsessed with this look. Like, whew. I love this. I love like the little dark twist to it versus just being like peppy and happy and like just bright. I like the fact that it's a little bit darker, a little bit more mysterious. I think that this looks bomb as fuck, and I love this look. I think this came out very well. I love the decals as well as the little crown that goes with it. I think that it definitely brings the whole look together versus just being the makeup. Hopefully you guys love this look too. I am, again, so obsessed with this. Thank you guys so much for all of your constant love and support. You know that I love you and I love getting your guys' opinions. So I actually did a poll on Twitter today asking if I should do a mermaid look today, and the voting on it was 93% yes and 7% no out of 28 votes. So don't forget guys, go follow me over on Twitter at Kirsten Lee. I am running a 2K 1K giveaway right now, and I would love for one of you to be a lucky winner, or multiple of you to be lucky winners. I love your engagement. I love being able to talk to you guys and kind of just go over anything and everything, and I love being here to help you guys learn some stuff and try out new looks. Step out of your comfort zone. I would have never done this look a while ago, and like now I'm literally obsessed with it. So this like part up here isn't staying very well because I didn't add too much lash glue, but I mean, like, this looks good. But as you guys know, I post on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Sundays at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you like my content and you want to continue to see more, please consider subscribing to my channel, like this video, and turn the bell notifications on. I promise you guys will not regret it. I am consistently coming out with new looks and new videos for you guys, and I really hope that you love this one as much as I do, guys. I love you so much, and I will see you on Sunday.